Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Friday Nights in Athens, here live at beautiful Titan Stadium at North Oconee High School. The music is starting to play, fans are starting to file in, and they are ready for Friday night football. I'm your host, Jackson Rowland, alongside our team here at the Carmical Sports Media Institute, bringing you all the action tonight. It's the North Oconee Titans against the visiting Chestatee War Eagles, and we're about to kick things off. Welcome to the pregame show here at Friday Nights in Athens at beautiful North Oconee Stadium. I'm your host, Jackson Rowland, joined alongside Patrick Cassett as we break down this matchup for you here tonight. Patrick, it's that beautiful time of year where we get into region play for these high schools. Everything starts to mean a little bit more, not only for the fans, players, coaching staff. It's what you love about high school sports. And we know with the new classifications, we have sub-region A and B here in Region 8. North Oconee in that B region, Chestatee in that A region, so a little split up, but they know each other fairly well, Patrick. But having very different seasons right now, using different offenses, what do we expect to see tonight, Pat?
Yeah, so when we look at the North Oconee side, we've heard from the coaches, this week, and what we've seen in the stats is that they're going to run a two-quarterback system. They got the senior.
That was the story.
Yeah, they got the senior. It's Max Wilson. He's there. But they also have a sophomore. His name's Harrison Faulkner, and they've been kind of working them in both at the same time. And trying to give defense different looks. Now, Coach will tell you they don't have a starter and they don't have a backup. But when you look at the stats, it's certainly a different picture.
It's a different picture.
Right. So Max Wilson, he has 585 total yards coming into this game. He's got 7 touchdowns. But his counterpart, Harrison Faulkner, well, he only has around 200 total yards and only 1 touchdown on the ground. So it certainly seems that in big spots, they rely on Max Wilson.
No
and
doubt.
so, of course, we're going to see both of them. But Max is the guy we're going to really see tonight.
Absolutely. He leads the team right now in both passing yards and rushing yards, a very versatile athlete. And so he'll be the clear starter. We'll see much of him in the first half. No doubt we'll see Harrison Faulkner tonight, but maybe not in the same role that we touched on. But North Oconee strong on both sides of the ball, Patrick. I mean, hard not to mention guys like Kamari Brooks on the other side. He'll play some of defensive line, but mobile enough to back him up at linebacker and cover space. He's always been fast, but now he's really big, Patrick. He went from 190 pounds now up to about 220 just in that offseason.
And Jackson, he's only a sophomore, so he's got so much more room to grow and improve, as he's still going to have 2 more years after this. And you touched on the defensive side. Jackson, we're not even done talking about some of the offensive spotlights.
Oh, absolutely.
We got Tate Titshaw. He's a commit to the Naval Academy. He's running the ball. He's got 4 touchdowns this year. And then Landon Roldan, one of their key wide receivers. He has a school record 95-yard touchdown.
Absolutely. And what a play that was. He just really showcased his speed. According to Coach Kurt Dorman, the offensive coordinator, he's clocked at 22 miles per hour. And that's in practice with the vest. And you can argue what you will, but anywhere close to that is really, really fast, Patrick. And we'll see it here tonight in this first half. But, you flip back to that defensive end, some more speed. You mentioned the free safety, Trey Linhart, Appalachian State commit. He's got the speed as well. Ball Hawks, great. He's the commanding general of this defense. And so they're going to have a complete game here tonight.
100%. So they got 27 seniors on this roster, and that's certainly why they expect to be in state championship contenders.
Absolutely.
State championship contenders.
They have all the factors this year. Last 2 seasons, state semifinal appearances, looking for that extra push. But Chestatee's faced with a tough challenge tonight. Our very own Anna Ruth Riggins has been following the War Eagles all week, and she has more on a senior who's filling in a new role tonight on the gridiron.
Senior Nate Brazier might be an offensive lineman for the War Eagles, but you will also see him punting tonight in their matchup against North Oconee. Coach Cunningham described Brazier as a team leader for the War Eagles this season. Brazier also wrestles in the 285-pound class, so he is likely not someone Cunningham looked at for the first time and thought, I think we found a punter. Although Brazier has always been listed as one of the War Eagles punters, he's always had other players start over him in this position. He really has the chance to make some plays offensively and on special teams tonight for the War Eagles. For the Carmical Sports Media Institute, I'm Anna Ruth Riggins.
And thank you, Anna Ruth. There's some great insight there on a specific player on the War Eagles team. And the War Eagles offense really has changed up quite a bit, Patrick. They've got some new changes. They're also using a dual quarterback system, much more so than North Oconee, at least as they have led us to believe, and the stats show a different story. We've talked about that. But they have the freshman. They got Colton Steele, and they also have Gage Reese, who's been getting most of the snaps. But Coach Stuart Cunningham said earlier this week that it might be the freshman taking over the helm tonight at the starting spot. be interesting to see how that happens. But, Patrick, they got several new offensive changes under Coach Cunningham. How can they use that to their advantage?
Yeah, so there's 3 big keys tonight for this War Eagles team to come into North Oconee and try to come out with a win. So, number 1, they got to look for a ball control offense tonight against North Oconee. They got to keep North Oconee and that offense, that high-powered offense that we talked about, off the field. And they can lean into that because in their 2-quarterback system with Steele and Reese, they're going to try to run the ball a lot. It's different than their spread offense last year, so they're going to try to run it on the ground. And like we said, it's their quarterback, Gage Reese, that has undergone a completely new offense this year, but they feel that freshman is getting more reps, he's getting more adjusted, and they're going to just keep trying to run the ball as much as possible tonight. And so the big key is how is the 2-quarterback system going to work? And that's really the success for their offense tonight.
Absolutely, and we haven't got to see that so far this year. It's been mainly all Gage Reese, but Coach Cunningham said, as Anna Ruth was able to tell us from Wednesday's practice over at War Eagles over there in Gainesville, they were able to tell us that the freshman seems to be a little more mobile, seems to get more familiar, but they're going to have the defense really step up tonight. We've mentioned all the North Oconee weapons that they have, and our own Trevin Gray was able to follow the Titans all week, and he shares more on Coach Tyler Owens' thoughts heading into this game.
Yeah, Jackson, North Oconee has gotten off to a strong 3-0 start this season and is ranked 1st or 2nd in the state by most organizations. Even so, head coach Tyler Arndt has made it a focus to help keep his team grounded. He said that it's hard when the team hears all of the hype and expectations surrounding this year's Titans. But he wants them to remain focused on practicing hard and avoiding complacency. They often operate practice with the first-team offense facing off with the first-team defense to keep both sides of the ball on their toes. That contrasts with other teams that run the first offense against the second defense and vice versa. Coach Arndt said that North Oconee has a long way to go to finally get to the state championship. The Titans fell short in the semifinals in the past 2 seasons, and they'll have to keep their game up a notch as the season progresses. North Oconee has 2 tough road region matchups in the coming weeks against North Hall and East Forsyth. The showdown at North Hall will have to wait for next Friday, though. As for now, the road to their championship aspirations continues against the upset-minded War Eagles. Back to you, Jackson.
And thank you, Trey. North Oconee, of course, looks to build on their success tonight as Camille Stroud now joins us on set. Now, Camille, you got to follow the Titans all week, specifically the running back Tate Titshaw. What makes him so special?
Yeah, thanks, Jackson. I got to say, Tate is someone who really stood out to me. He is so authentic, but yet so competitive at the same time. You can just tell the way he interacts with his players, the way he just carries himself. He's ready to compete, but he's also so authentic.
Absolutely. Great kid on and off the field. But Camille was able to put some pressure on the running back earlier this week in a segment we call the 2-minute drill.
I'm here with North Oconee running back number 8, Tate Titshaw. Tate, how are we feeling today?
I feel good. How about you?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready for some Friday Night Lights. I don't know about you.
2 more days, almost there.
Almost there. Tate, congratulations on your commitment to Navy. You also had offers from App State, Georgia Southern, South Carolina, and Wofford. Am I missing any?
That's pretty much about it. Yeah, that's it.
What about the Navy football program stood out that made you decide, yeah, this is who I want to be with next year?
Really, the brotherhood, all the coaches. It's just a super cool atmosphere, and then you're set up for life after. You can't really pass up on that opportunity.
You're right about that. So I know you've played at a few different schools in your football career. Talk to me about what each school taught you and what playing on different teams taught you as a player.
Every school kind of had their own trials, own lessons of their own. So everywhere I was at, you can kind of get like a different sort of point of view and perspective from different coaches. So just coming from Fellowship, Blessed Trinity here, and then Prince Avenue a while ago, I mean, I just got a whole new aspect of different points of the game.
Go Paladins. I myself am a former Paladin, so that's something we have in common. All right, Tate. So you told one of our very own Carmical students previously that you had just gotten into golf. How's your golf game?
I think my last round was 2 weeks ago, so
okay.
We'll see how it is.
What did you shoot?
Oh, we don't got to talk about that. Not great.
All right, well, we're about to put it to the test. I want to see your putting skills.
Oh, we'll see. All right.
And Welcome back to Friday Nights in Athens here at Titan Stadium and North Oconee High School, where we're now joined by North Oconee offensive coordinator, Coach Kurt Dorman. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on set. When you first took over this team in 2017, what was your vision for this offense?
Well, our mission statement is to be a fundamentally sound, relentless scoring machine, and we just preach playing 48 game minutes, and we want to be physical, we want to have relentless effort, and we just want to be fundamentally sound.
Absolutely.
Coach, do you think you've accomplished your vision, and do you think that your players are at that point?
I think that there's always things that you can improve on every week. We're just constantly trying to get 1 degree better. Obviously there's things that we put an emphasis on every week that we're trying to really focus in and get better at. So by no means do I think that we've arrived. Now, right here, week 4, if you ask any of these players, there's plenty that we are trying to work on.
Absolutely. Plenty to work on, but plenty of success as well, Coach. You've done a great job with the team. But breaking down this War Eagle defense specifically, what threats did you feel they presented, and what was your main focus preparing this week?
They've got a pretty good D lineman, but as far as like practice goes, week to week, because we never know. Once you get to the end of the season, if you're blessed enough to make the playoffs, that we focus on ourselves and hey, what can North Oconee do to get better. So most of the time when it's coaches speak and things that areas focus and staff meetings, we're trying to figure out, hey, how do we get better? What are things that we need to work on that we're putting on film that other defenses will exploit at some point. So.
Of course. Well, Coach, good luck tonight.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on set. And
We
don't go
appreciate it.
anywhere
Thank you
just
so
yet.
much.
We'll be back with updates, scores, and more from around the 8 with Patrick and Owen when we come back on Friday Nights in Athens. Welcome back to Friday Nights in Athens here at beautiful Titan Stadium. I'm now joined by Owen Warden and Patrick Cassett as we break down all the action happening tonight around Region 8 here in the Athens area. Owen, what do we have first?
Yeah, absolutely. Matchup of this week, an away match. Clark Central traveling to Jefferson. That's easily the biggest game either team's probably played this entire season. It's the start of their region play. Clark Central's going to be facing a really tough running back in Sammy Brown over in Jefferson. Five-star prospect, and the problem is he's also a 5-star linebacker. So they're going to be facing him on both sides of the ball. That's going to be a brutal matchup, but the good news is they've got somebody returning this week.
Yeah, and that was the question mark coming into this week, was whether or not Chase Barong, their senior quarterback, was going to play. He was out with an injury last week. Cameron Lawrence filled in. They got a win, but Chase is back this week, and they're hoping to go up to Jefferson and handle business this week.
Absolutely. The quarterback returning will certainly help out. But speaking of quarterbacks, there may not be a better quarterback in this area than Aaron Philo over at Prince Avenue. Guys, talk about who they're playing on at Pensacola Catholic.
Yeah, Prince Avenue, they're facing Pensacola Catholic. That's an undefeated team, but, for their sake, Aaron Philo's running quarterback. He's one of the best players out there. 1,520 yards. He had 400 yards just last week alone. He's one of the best quarterbacks. Georgia Tech commit. He's a great player, and he's got a lot of great players, but Prince Avenue, they do have a guy that they're having to stop this week.
Well, and that's the thing is you make the trip down to Pensacola, and you're going against a guy named C.J. Nettles. He has some lower D1 offers from schools like Florida Atlantic. And so he's starting to gain some traction in the recruiting world, but he's a running back that defense is going to have to try to step up and stop this year, and it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Absolutely. Wolverines in a tough matchup on the road, but just to remind fans at home, we have Oconee County and Athens Christian both on bye weeks right now, so only 2 games more to talk about. And walk us through those.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, but Athens Academy, of course, they're facing the Mount Vernon Mustangs. The Mount Vernon, of course, undefeated. They've got a lot of talent there. Athens Academy, it's been a little rough for them lately after a great start to the season that we were happy to be at, but they've got a lot of talent there, but it's been rough for them the past few weeks. Let's see if they can get it together against a tough opponent.
Right, and then you got Cedar Shoals. They're taking on East Hall today. Cedar coming off their first win. It was a big win for them, so they're going to try to carry some momentum, but they're going against a 500 squad in region play, overall 2-2, 1-2 in region play. And it's going to be a tough matchup. We'll see if A.J. Hubbard and the boys on offense can get it done there.
Absolutely.
And Athens Academy so far undefeated at the home field, so that'll help them out with Mount Vernon. Cedar Shoals coming off their first win, some momentum to help them out. Might make it 2 in a row. Now let's talk about tonight, guys. This is also a part of around the region. So North Oconee taking on Chestatee. Who do you got winning? What's your score prediction?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup for Chestatee. This is a great North Oconee team that we've already heard how healthy they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, they've got a few injuries on that offensive line as of late. A couple guys going down, a couple guys sitting out, but I just don't think it's going to be much of a matchup. I think it's going to be 56-6 with North Oconee taking the win here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Owen. I just think that the North Oconee team is ranked very highly in the country for a reason. I think they come out on top. I got them 53-7. Tonight on the win.
Hey, we're right there. We're right there. We're right there. We're right there.
And guys, Chestatee 0-4 so far. Looking for that first win. Tough environment here on the road. You have to bet on success. Titans going to get it done here tonight. I think they win big, maybe a little closer than we think, but I still think a high-scoring affair. Most likely 53. I'll say 21. Maybe some fourth quarter garbage time touchdowns.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen. But, of course, the main event is right here at Titan Stadium. A lot of action around the region, but we're focused on North Oconee versus the Chestatee War Eagles as we're now moments away from kickoff. We'll send it up to the booth for Rafael Cruz and Hamilton Culpepper to bring the rest of the live action, but stay tuned for the halftime show right here on Friday Nights in Athens.